Hi, Mindy and Paula. This video is to respond on the lesson plan assignment part 2. So on the first part, we're talking about reflection on the lesson plan 1 and reading the feedback. So first of all, I wanted to apologize because I didn't get a good grade. Unfortunately, I was going through a lot of problems, a lot of issues with my car, which I still don't have back, and it took a lot of energy and time from me and money, to be honest, and I just didn't have the time to really develop the plan assignment as properly as I should have. I thought I did an okay work. I wasn't expecting a D plus. I thought I would get like a B minus or something like that. But I guess I was really below the requirement, so I really apologize about that. I'm not used to like failing on grades. So sorry, and if there's anything I can do with the lesson plan 2 to like improve that grade for lesson plan 1, I hope I can do it, because the quality of my work is usually really good. So I'm sorry about that. Now, regarding the questions that you provided, the first one says, what aspects of your lesson do you feel particularly good about and why, right? So for me personally, I'm checking the lesson as I speak. The sequencing part to me was one of the most interesting parts that I did, and I feel like comfortable to say I'm proud of it, and I'm happy about it, because the focus of the sequencing part to me was to try and allow students to ease into the concept of probability, and my goal here was to give them a way to use their own logic to try and think about the problem before like solving it, and then they would understand how to calculate them, and because they already tried to find their own way to solve the problem, it would make it a lot easier for them to understand the solution, right, and how to solve it, and the logic, the proper logic behind it. And that was my own personal case when I was studying engineering at the university. Statistics was one of the most difficult subjects, but also the most interesting and enjoyable to me personally, because it allowed me to think of the world differently. It allowed me to understand that every phenomenon that happens in the world is led by probability, and I love that. So I thought like the way that it was sequenced, how the logic was introduced to the students was a very interesting way to do it. So that to me was a very proud moment for myself, I think. What components of my lessons would I like to improve, and what will these improvements accomplish? I was reading your feedback, and I think like the main issue was I didn't go in depth as I should have, especially with 3 points that I'm checking out on your feedback. The first one is the objectives, which I thought were okay, were realistic, but it feels like they require minor revision. The second one was the flow and organization. I guess I could add more examples to try and logically sequence everything. Again, in my mind, I thought it was pretty clear, but the timing, I guess, was not very identified clearly. So I want to work on that more, I guess. And the alignment part. You guys are mentioning that the lesson requires adjustments to better align with objectives. So I guess I didn't fulfill my target objectives properly, and I really apologize about that. I thought I was doing it. Again, I guess I didn't. I am also considering the UDL and inclusivity. I read that you feel like it requires like extra work and to be more seamlessly inclusive. I would say, and that part, I mean, I would also like to improve. And I think my main goal here is what I want to accomplish with the improvements is to make sure that the lesson plan is easy to understand, like whatever teacher has to do it can like grab the information and jump into it, and through the steps that I'm going to provide on the lesson plan, have a very easy way to like ease into it and pretty much prepare quickly to provide a lesson, and have it as a roadmap to be able to do it. And I hope that what I can also accomplish is allow it for students to have an easier way to grasp the concepts. If the lesson plan is properly created, right, and designed, then this should be easy for them. Now, on the comments, I guess it's not like I disagree with you guys on the UDL comment. I just feel like I tried to be inclusive with the UDL activities. I guess I mean, there's always room for improvement, and I feel that way about pretty much anything and everything, like in the world, and everything that we do. We should always be trying to seek, you know, improvement in our day-to-day lives. However, I would say, like, especially for engineering, subjects are very demanding, and it's not easy to, like I was trying to be as inclusive as possible. I was trying to add activities. I'll try to add more for sure. I don't think, however, that I wasn't considering like the UDL inclusivity part. I think I was. So on that regard, I'll try to improve, but I do feel like maybe I should have gotten like a bit of a higher grade, just because I tried keeping it inclusive. I tried providing UDL examples of like how like students would have different ways to access information. The problems can either be delivered by voice, like a speaking voice, like me speaking and reading them, and I'm also like adding them on text so they can read it. And they're going to be working in teams. So if someone has issues with, like, let's say reading, for example, they can ask one of their classmates to help them, right? And at the same time, the information is going to be accessible in different ways, but it has to be reached at some point, right? Like the student has to either read it or like listen to it and hopefully understand it. And I'm going to be around, and I provided that as feedback there too. I said like I would be present, so if anyone has issues or questions, they can come back to me and ask me personally, like individually, if they don't feel comfortable asking in public. So I think I tried. Of course, I'll try to do my best to improve. Thank you.